I thought I was going to start the show off with really just giving it to the Packers, giving them props, but I think we're going to start off with just a moment for the Alessandris family. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly, but the offensive line coach for the Baltimore Ravens. Let's just take a moment out, think about them, keep them in your family, keep their family in the prayers, and just recognize this game or this life is so much bigger than football. Amen. Let's get it. Let's go.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.
Hey, 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 welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. This is your couch rider, Raven. We are 10 days away from watching the Ravens. Walk into Chiefsville, get some good barbecue, sit down, enjoy themselves for a minute, wipe their feet at the door, and then stomp a mud hole in them daggone Kansas City Chiefs. We ready. We're ready. I just know it. I feel it in my soul. I hope y'all feel it too. And I hope you're here because you want to be here for the late night show with the Baltimore Ravens, one of the biggest fans out here. Your couch rider Raven. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. I appreciate y'all coming through. If you want to support the channel, of course, y'all can do it many ways. Of course, you want to hit the like, hit the subscribe. That helps the algorithm. But if you want to actually support the channel financially, please feel free. You can go ahead and do that here, or you can do it through a super chat, or we have our QR code. My son keeps reminding me about this. Make sure that he gets he gets paid. I guess he needs his lunch money. He just got in trouble a little bit. I guess this week because he's a grown boy and somebody's been sneaking lunches and we didn't know until we got a negative balance on the lunch account. Yeah, I didn't know that, but yeah, thank you, Cameron, for that. So, do you want to support Cameron's snack habit at school because he's just constantly growing, getting ice creams and extra pizzas and everything else? Then you can do that by either the Cash App in this top hand corner over here, or you can do the super chat. But yes, just know that all proceeds do go to my son and whatever crazy habit apparently is snacking this time around. So appreciate y'all coming through. Let's see who's in the room right quick before we jump into our motivational moment. Gerald is here. What's good, man? You are the first. I don't know where Delicious is, but Delicious usually is first. Or actually, no, Nana is first, and Lisa are usually first. But you know what? Gerald is here. Appreciate you coming through. Wilbur says, "What's up?" I'm like, "What's up, man?" Hey, Wilbur, I don't know if you're still doing the fundraiser. If you want me to give you a shout out for it, Wilbur has been raising funds for his daughter's school, and he's been doing a great job of it. Some of the funniest memes you'll see on Facebook. My favorite is the one where Wilbur is he's got a picture up of two men in a bathroom, and they're at urinals, and Wilbur's head is like way over to the right, and the other person is way over to the left, and there's probably about 10 or 15 stalls away from each other. They're separated. Anyway, Wilbur's head walks over to the other stall that's right up on the other person. You know how people do that, just be annoying. It's like a million stalls, and they decide to choose the one right next to you. Well, he actually goes over to the other person and says, "Hi, my daughter is she's selling chocolate for a fundraiser." So it's he's hilarious, man. Wilbur, you definitely should start a television show, man. You got it, man. You got it. All right. Let's see. Gerald says he's here, and then Camru says he's trying to get in. So that I don't know if this counts as him being on time or not, but we're gonna find out if he can get in here or not. So let me see if I can get him the link once more. And Camru, I'm gonna put it in the chat. That way you can just grab that and hop in. All right, so there's the chat link there. If you want to hop in on the show, camera that, go ahead and hop in on the show through that. If anybody wants to surprise me and pop in for a couple seconds, you're more than welcome as well. All right, so we are going to roll into our motivational moment, and then I'll wait for Cameron to pop in here because I know he's probably a little emotional right now. I know he's not really thinking straight because one of his boys, something bad happened. I'm not talking about like real world bad. Not like not the offensive line coach. I'm talking, we lost a player that was projected on his 53-man roster, but not necessarily on mine. All right. As far as our motivational moment goes, if at first you don't succeed, then maybe skydiving is not your thing. I kid. But what I'm saying is, you know your strengths. Know your strengths and know that it is okay to fail at some things, but recognize that there are some opportunities that you just cannot fail at in life. And you want to make sure that you don't set yourself up for failure thinking, hey, I am going to get this. Like right now, me going out and working out in the backyard or something, or going to the gym does not mean that I'm ready for the NFL. That's not it. I'm not ready. I'll never be ready because I'm 41 years old. It's just, you got to set those realistic expectations, realistic goals for yourself. I can't make the NFL because they're not even going to take a look. They're going to be like, you should probably be in the booth for something, if that. But set realistic goals, folks. And when you fail at those realistic goals, set more realistic expectations or see what went wrong and then course correct. That's your motivational moment for today. All right, folks. I'm going to call it what it is. It was an ugly beatdown. We got our butts handed to us. We gave up 193 yards rushing. Devin Leary does not belong on an NFL roster in this league. The performance was terrible. How do you throw 2 interceptions and had a strip sack fumble? This is just mismanagement of football. The offensive line obviously was not where it needed to be. If Leary's over here doing that bad as far as getting strip sack fumble, we couldn't do much of anything. I think that fumble was recovered. I think it was took for a touchdown. It just was so bad. It just makes you just. I was like, are they sure they worthy of wearing this uniform even coming to camp? Like, we've had 90-man rosters that have been fired. And that's why that record was up there for, I think it was a 24-game win streak for the Baltimore Ravens. But this roster, the third string depth, not this year. This is not the roster for third string depth, or third team depth, should I say, because there's a lot of third stringers that are impressive. Third team depth, it's not there. That's okay. Let me make sure Cameron has this link. I'm gonna send it to him real quick. 1 sec. I just feel like we didn't put our best foot forward out there, and I'm not sure why. And maybe it's Harbaugh just like thinking, hey, we're not concentrated on preseason wins anymore. Maybe that was something that was before, and the players took a lot of pride in it. And of course, we know as guys just fight for jobs, and that's cool. But I feel like anytime the Ravens put on a uniform, there should be some people out there that's like ready to rock. Like, hey, let's coach these boys up. Let's make them great. I don't think they set up plays that specifically emphasize how good Devin Leary could be, because we did have high hopes when this dude came out of Kentucky. Like, yes, I know that some people or a certain person picked this dude up on our team, but I felt like Leary was supposed to come out there and do something, and he did. It didn't look good. It was dog ugly, and there wasn't a thing we could do about it but sit there and watch our team get dismantled by this Packers team who looked like they're in midseason form, and their defense looked stout. It looked phenomenal out there. And then their quarterbacks, they were rotating them in and out, and they both got touchdowns. And then our quarterback comes out there and has a 42 QBR. It looks sad. It was real sad, folks. I just kind of felt embarrassed for that particular time. Cam Rude's chair is in the building, just so y'all know. We had him in the behind the scenes. He's in the green room. He's ready to go. Well, he will be in a second here. I'm pretty sure he's doing one or two things: getting cereal or walking the dog. We're not sure which one yet. He's back. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. The chosen one, Cameron.
What's happening? What's
Chilling,
happening?
man, chilling. You know, we was just talking about the Packers and how bad of a game this was. This was, I know it's preseason. I know. But this is probably the reason that some of the decisions that were made today were made because these guys were fighting for their roster lives. This was a big opportunity for them.
Yeah.
And because of, I think, partially because some of this performance, the decisions were made today. And a couple of them, I'll go over them right quick. Let's see if I got the right one. Here we go. All right, so there was 8 official cuts so far today. So we got, Sean Ryan, Russell Gage, Mike Riggman, Riley Sharp. So some of these were kind of like obvious, like your Sean Ryan, Russell Gage. In my opinion, I think it was obvious based off of the performance of other players on the roster and players being out there on the field. Tight end Riggman, yeah, I saw that coming. Riley Sharp, yeah, okay. Daryl Simpson, okay, I know that we are looking and rotating players in and out, but we didn't see anything special out of this guy. Tremere Walthor, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. When he was out there on the field, I was hoping to see a little bit more of the ability to stop the run. And for a team that gives up 193 yards on defense, and he's part of that. He's part of that failure. And then Jack Browning, no surprise there. Tayshawn Manning, okay, big deal, big whoop. But I think the one that I'm gonna let Cam Root speak on is right here. It's Pepe.
That I'm gonna be honest with you. That a part of me is you take it down. I kill myself.
I got you, man. So I guess first question for you concerning Pepe would be, what does Pepe Williams' cut suggest about the Ravens' strategy and priorities on this defense this season?
Well, it showed. Well, before we say anything, I don't know if you said it already, but rest in heaven to Joe D.
Absolutely.
I do want to say. All right, 2 things. And I said this to Coach Sid. I left a comment. I said, I mean, they said he's having a good camp.
I'm sorry. My bad. that was out of line. My bad. I just decided to move on. I was like, screw Pepe, apparently. So let me take this down.
Okay. Part of me feels like they need to try to keep him. Why? Because we are notorious for having injuries in the back end. So as much as I love Darius Washington, the biggest thing that I'm worried about is he hasn't played a full season yet. So if he goes down, now Arthur Millette's still down. Now we you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think the other thing about to argue that, I'd say Pepe's played 15 games and had 2 pass defenses total.
Right. And I agree, but they said he was having a good camp. Usually, I would think that it wouldn't be just one game that would
be a big determiner,
make a big difference. Because the first 2 preseason games, he did well. I hope he winds up in Seattle if he's not coming back here. I really hope he winds up with McDonald. I hope he gets the opportunity.
Well, you already know them two. 2 teams gonna be calling him up immediately. Ravens West, yeah, absolutely.
or the NFC Ravens.
Yeah.
Seattle preseason game. I don't know about y'all, but they look. I mean, they always had defense like we had defense, but he got them looking energized, bro. The whole team, front to back, don't matter. All three phases of the team, they just look energized. They look happy. You understand what I'm saying? And that's that. I think they're gonna be a true problem. But
yeah, they look great. The Packers looked like they came to play. They've been whooping on us all week long too. But
see, they had to come with some energy because the week before that, when they had the joint practice against Denver, guess what Denver did to them? Molly Whopper. So,
but I told you, Bo Nix gonna be rookie of the year.
Yeah, but it wasn't even. I mean, just the whole team. They got outplayed when they had it with Denver. So it pretty much came after that. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, my oven is beeping. Apologize.
Yeah, is the audience here? I mean, y'all look like y'all.
Half of
I think they it's quiet. It's quiet. I don't think I got out of you guys so far is Gerald saying that was an ugly game. I agree. Fully agree. But as far as like Pepe's performance goes, yeah, there was definitely some situations where you were hoping that he had a little bit better coverage, maybe a step here, a step there. It wasn't a significant faux pas type game, but when you're looking at the back end of the roster and we're looking at the projections, so I kind of stand pat with my projections from the previous show, and that was here. So if you take a look at this roster projection, you go look at corner depth. You can see where I had my projections, and that was Hunt, Stevens, Wiggins, Jalen Armour Davis, Mollett, and Mullen. So I think there is a difference that I will say this on the back end of that one. And let me go ahead and pull it up real quick. Pull up my roster depth here. Because I think Washington will be considered as a corner, not a safety. So they're going to pull on this. They're going to pull Washington over to, of course, play corner and be that sixth corner. I'm not sure if Mullen is going to be on this roster.
Let me give you a couple updates, brother.
Say what?
I got a couple updates for you.
Okay, what's the updates?
The Ravens are waiving Emory Jones.
Oh no, Emory, no!
He probably
no, no, baby, why? Oh man,
next. It's delivery gonna be next. They also released Russell Gage.
Yeah, that wasn't a surprise as much either. I feel like Gage, he did his thing with the Falcons and the Bucks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, usually when you're picking out those veterans, the contract might be a little bit higher than these undrafted rookie free agents. I feel like Wade is the reason that Gage was let go. I think Kirkwood is a good reason to drop Gage further down as far as consideration. I'm not saying Kirkwood's making this team, but I am saying Kirkwood has made enough plays to be considered in that formula of making this team.
Agreed.
Who else? So we said Emory.
Jones. Talking for the people think you're talking to yourself.
What did I say? Oh, my fault.
They don't see me at all.
I think it is so it's a different layout. So I was trying something different. So neither one of our mics are muted, so they can see you. So I think it's just something every time, like if one of us is talking, I was trying to do this layout to where if we were talking and you can hear us, but I think they can still hear you right now in the scenes.
Oh, okay.
So what I'll do is I'll bring it back. You just hit this, and then it pops us back on the screen again. It's something new that they were allowing. It was a feature they were letting me see. I was like checking it out.
But I don't. Don, see, I don't think they're gonna keep either one of them. To be honest with you, I think one of them is gonna go to the practice squad. Why would you keep Leary? You're better off just picking somebody else. I don't think Tyler Huntley gonna make the Cleveland team. So you better off bringing Snoop back, and making him the third quarterback.
So I hear that Huntley is actually going to probably be number 3. They are trying to trade DTR over there.
Oh wow! Okay.
So it's pretty interesting how these things are rolling out over there in Cleveland, because Huntley is he's shown up. You know who else is showing up over there? Weirdly enough, James Prochet. Pro scored a touchdown. I think he had 26 yards in a TD in this last game. And I think it's because he's finally getting into a rhythm. He's getting comfortable, but it just took too long over here for him to get that flow. I wish him the best. I just, hopefully not against Baltimore. But Dayton Wade, I feel, is going to make this team.
They just changed the rules, which is crazy. They literally just changed the rules. The rule is you can keep a quarterback on the practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
The emergency quarterback. That way you didn't have to use the roster spot for him. And they literally just changed the rule today. Like, it's just crazy. That's crazy.
Wow.
Sorry if I got some pizza on my face. I apologize.
You good? You good? I just want to say Brooke is here today.
I see you, Brookie, bro.
She's late. She's late. So we'll hear about those excuses here in a second.
Hold on. Just to give you a heads up. Brooke, I got one on the way for you. She's making one. Brother, my people make these custom made. She designed it herself. If y'all want one, it's only $30. I will mail it off.
Okay, so we put that up closer, man. Let's see. Let's get a good look at that.
Hold on.
Yeah. Okay, that looks fresh, man. Yeah,
Yep.
roll it around. He says $30.
Yep. It keeps everything cool, keeps everything hot. And it comes with a steel straw.
Yeah.
And a cleaner for it.
Yeah, I'm looking for a new cup anyway, because I think I got one at work and I absolutely hate the cup because every time I try to put the lid on, it just pops off because the plastic's all warped. Yeah, that's a nice. Yeah, I like that lid. That's pretty sweet.
So if y'all are interested, just DM me, hit me up. Don't matter.
Versus like, oh, okay, she wants to know how to pay you.
I give you my Zelle or my Venmo info, and then I send it to her. No problem.
All right. Brooke says she has no excuses today. She was on TikTok. Okay. Well, you and Devin Leary must have been watching the same TikToks because obviously neither one of y'all showed to the game the other day. So, all right, she's going to Venmo you. All right. But as far as like quarterbacks, I mean, if we go back and talk about Emory Jones, the game that he did show up in, I was impressed. The first game wasn't a fair shot for him. I mean, he basically comes in, strip sack, fumble. Second game, he comes in and he has an impressive showing, which I thought was plenty enough to leapfrog Leary if they were going to keep 3 quarterbacks on this roster. And then we get news that he's actually released, which is terrible because if they give Leary that third spot, I am going to be very upset. I really don't think that they're going to have 3 quarterbacks on this roster, but if they do, it's not going to be him. It's going to be somebody else they pull in from another spot. And there's going to be plenty of options out there because their quarterbacks getting released as we speak. And yes, I agree, Brooke. Devin is boo-boo.
Martin is not allowed to pick anybody.
Say what?
So T. Martin is not allowed to tell us who he likes.
Never again. He can't do it. He can't touch him. No, none at all. Not a dang person. No, not a noun. Nothing.
Nope.
All right. So there were some tweets out there. I wanted to just kind of see what you were thinking as these things went out. Let's see. This talks about Makari and Joe D. Okay, yeah, I think we talked about that already. I did that before the show started. The next one was this guy.
What happened?
Tim Patrick.
What about
so, it? Looks like Denver wants to move on from Tim Patrick.
He was having a good preseason. I saw a couple of his games. Why would you do that?
So I think they think he's got an injury bug or something, and they want to just kind of move forward in a new direction. Which, I mean, it could benefit us. I mean, we dropped him and he turned out okay for them, but I mean, we're just not sure. Like, how would that work? How would that look like with the Baltimore Ravens for Patrick to come through?
I mean, we work in the type of offense we play. We work in space.
Yeah.
I mean, he would be a good for the jump ball. I mean, his route. Tim's never been a big route. Like, he's not killing you on the routes. Same thing with Cortland Sutton. They got 2 of the same type of receivers. So, neither one of them are Michael Thomas. So, he's not the slant king. I mean, he could help. He definitely could help. I honestly don't feel too bad. I know some people are worried about this wide receiver core, but I'm not really worried. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Tylan Wallace is actually our 3rd receiver. Nelly has not practiced much at all. I don't know what he's dealing with, but he hasn't been on the field a lot.
I think that was a real bright spot in this game to see that catch and run to the end zone with Tylen. I think it was a way of him making a statement to the team, saying, "Hey, look, I don't need to compete every year for this daggone spot. This is my spot.
Yeah, bro.
You know, I beat out the guy last year. I did it again this year. How much more do I need to prove to you? Y'all need to give me more opportunities in the open field."
Now we gonna get Tim Patrick and let go of Hardy. I'm good with that because
Yeah, I think Hardy should go regardless. I honestly think if they can figure out how to incorporate Wade into the return game, Hardy's not healthy. Wade's earned the spot. Give it to him. And that way you carry five receivers, or excuse me, 5 or 6 receivers onto into the season. Personally, I was looking at all 22, and this dude had 7 receivers on there. He had Kirkwood on there. He had I want to say he put Wade on the practice squad, which I wasn't a fan of at all. And he had Hardy making the team, and then Devontae Walker making the team. What are your thoughts on Devontae?
I'm sorry. I'm not disappointed as most people are because everyone was putting him up to be. He has amazing speed. I'm not doubting that. But he's a 4th round draft pick. Everybody was putting him on the pedestal. Yeah, he's going to be the number 3 or number 4 receiver. Allen Wallace was a 4th round draft pick. So tell me, how is he going to jump? You know, just the way that Baltimore has worked all through the years.
Mm-hmm.
You got to work your way through. You got to do what you got to do on special teams. He got one trick, and that's to go deep. Okay. But other than that, I don't know how people were just putting him up there before Tylen or before Nelly. Like he may have been projected at one time to be like a 2nd rounder, but when you saw him in the Senior Bowl, he didn't look good. I'm happy that we drafted him because of his story, but he needs time. He's going to have to be developed. Like, I don't know why, just out the gate, he's our 4th receiver. Yes, he's our 4th receiver because they drafted him, but he's not going to be the number 4 receiver or number 3 receiver on the field. That's just not going to happen. So,
and I think people, they sleeping on Aguilar. Yes, Wallace is definitely looking great right now, but I think they forget who was working with Lamar during the offseason. And I think that's going to pay dividends as the season comes around. I think Tez is going to he's got a big time hill to climb as far as the depth chart. Because right now, if we started the game, we start the game next week, he may be inactive on game day.
100%. I don't know what he does on special teams.
Yeah, because he's not it. You said one trick pony. You're absolutely right. This is what Torrey Smith was at the beginning of his career. It benefited Joe Flacco because Flacco was all about that launch. But this is we're going to have some launches, but it's not going to be the Tez Walker show. This ain't it.
At that particular time, y'all got to remember. I forgot his name. Dang, we was just talking about. Who you compare Tez to?
Torrey.
Torrey was a 2nd round draft pick. You know they won't use him. He wasn't a 4th round draft pick. He was a 2nd round draft pick.
I think we were all excited about the usage of Torrey because of Joe Flacco's arm.
Yeah.
When you saw the way Joe would sit there and just throw this thing to the daggone moon, and then you see Torrey come in, I was hoping Lee Evans had just fell off the face of the planet that year. Because I was like, I'm tired of him coming in and snatching up valuable reps from Torrey. Mm-hmm. But, fast forward to now, as far as those reps, I still want those to go to those top guys. I still want Rashad Bateman to eat. I still want Zay to eat. I still want Aguilar to eat. I want Wallace to get his. And then down the line, if they have opportunities to put this into the scheme, yeah. But I think we need to get a ball to our best playmakers, especially when it comes within 10 days as we go play the Chiefs.
I'm sorry. I don't think Hardy should be. I don't know. I don't think he should be on the roster. He hasn't done nothing.
Yeah, I think Hardy shouldn't be on the roster. And if there was a way, just as one of our audience members, as Don C has said, If there was a way to slide Tez into the stash, or practice squad or something, if there was a way to slide him there, I'd say slide him there because that's a spot. I know he was drafted, but that's a spot. That's a spot that goes to somebody else.
Yeah.
If you ain't showed up in camp, you're a 4th-round pick. I think the opportunity to let you learn a bit, sit you back, and get that spot to somebody else who earned it. That's kind of where you like, hey, we're going to take some of these guys who worked their butt off, during this offseason, whether it been in the preseason game or not. Let us get that spot to them. That's where you put in an Emory Jones because Emory came in and said, hey, look, I know what it is. I know I'm a camp arm, but I'm still trying to prove like, hey, I belong here. Let's see. All right, what Don C say? He said, Tez didn't get a chance with those trash quarterbacks that can't throw a post or a go route. He didn't have Lamar. Really didn't get any opportunity to showcase his talent.
It just did. But my biggest thing is that I don't know how bad his ribs were, but he's just being too soft for me, Don.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not a first round draft pick. You gotta go out there and play something. Like even Adisa Ozzie tried to get out there with them hammies. He got 2 bad wheels. He's still trying to roll. You know what I mean?
I think they were speaking of toughness. They were talking about the backup center. Was it Nick Simon?
Simon
Yeah.
going to the team.
Yeah, Simon came out there with a sprained ankle and still practiced today. So that shows some heart.
Uh-huh.
All right, so let's move to this next one here. So the next tweet I saw was, I think everybody was kind of wide receiver happy today. Here's another one. How would you feel about John Mechie coming to Baltimore?
Are they letting him go?
I think they're looking at trading opportunities when it comes to Mechie because they got one heck of a depth chart there at wide receiver between Dell, between Collins and Diggs. They really are solid at wide receiver, and I think Mechie wants an opportunity to shine somewhere. But to be honest, he ain't gonna get it here. He is not going to get that opportunity in Baltimore because we got guys at the top of the depth chart already. He would be another burner just brought in, and we could see how he would fit into we could see if he would fit into our scheme with limited reps, but he needs to go somewhere like, hey, send him over to Jacksonville or send him, to down in New Orleans or something like that. But he don't believe, Baltimore is not the spot for this guy. If Baltimore's talking about trading for a wide receiver, this guy, that guy, yeah, I can see it for that guy because this is a guy you make things happen for. You like, hey, okay, we got this amazing, phenomenal, probably top 5 wide receiver here. We need to figure out how we're going to incorporate this dude who knows how to get off the jam, off the line, who is sick with all of his different steps to beat the press, and then gets downfield and then gets busy with it. Has the ability to climb the ladder. He's a Moss type player. I mean, I don't really have to speak to Devontae. You already know who Devontae Adams is. But imagine him with Lamar Jackson. Then we're having a different conversation about, okay, well, who's at the top of the depth chart and whatnot. I mean, of course, we're still saying, hey, feed Zay. But with Devontae over there, it takes a lot of attention away from Zay and vice versa. This could be a really good 1-2 punch combo. I ain't saying nothing against Rashad, but I'm saying we got Devontae there. What are we doing with Rashad? What do you think?
That's just idle. I think you keep. You already paid. Bait.
Yeah.
Keep him so he can learn.
Yeah, and it wasn't much. We paid him scraps. Yeah, we paid Bait scraps, but I feel like this is
Bait got it, bro. He got all the tools. Bateman has all the tools.
Yeah, I mean, we see that. We just got to get him got to give him the ball.
Yeah,
and that's where I think I said this last week. An X doesn't eat in the way that this offense is designed. They're not going to eat in the way that other X's eat. You go to Dallas, they got CD. They're going to deliberately feed CD the ball because that is how that offense is ran. This offense kind of runs in a way that the Patriots kind of ran their offense, and that was through the middle of the field.
Hold on now. Mike Evans 8 in this offense.
You said Mike Evans 8 in this offense?
Yeah, remember he used to be over there with Mike.
It's also, I mean, it's determined on quarterback too. You know how Lamar likes the middle of the field.
Well,
And I was like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, Tom Brady, he loved the middle of the field until he met Mike Evans. Then that's when he just changed. He's like, okay, I'm gonna change my game up. We're going to the outside because people think that I can't go to the outside. Now, of course, if we give him a weapon like Devontae, maybe he tries and throws more to the outside. But we know that Lamar, throughout his career, has been so accurate in the middle of the field, and it's because he's had guys like Andrews. He's had phenomenal tight ends that he could throw to. He's had good slot receivers, decent slot receivers who he could throw to. The X on the outside have been guys who haven't been aggressive enough on the outside, or they just weren't getting the looks because Lamar already saw who he wanted. He saw Zay, who was getting 10 targets a game. He saw Andrews, who's getting 7 to 10 targets a game, and he sees OBJ. So of course, that left Bateman out, and that's what I'm thinking. If we bring another guy in, another hired hand, is he going to eat like he wants to eat?
Now, if you put that hired gun in, ain't nobody like he going to eat. If you bring that hired gun in,
yeah,
they ain't even going to eat like he's going to eat.
Yeah, but it's just like, we brought Odell Beckham in, and I think we
were Odell. Like, we was looking for something else. That we ain't going to get the Odell from the Giants, not with the ACL problem. This is the thing. He just got to stay healthy. He got all the tools. And this is coming from, it's funny that you put this man up there because he even said it. He said, listen, some players need to get more, you got to give them that time. He said, if they didn't give me that time, I would never be as good as I. Remember, it took for Deontay's 4th season for him to actually,
Well, it took Jordy Nelson to have to go. Because Aaron, he knew who he liked.
It wouldn't matter if Jordy was there or not. Devontae was dropping the ball, bro.
Yeah, it took some wake up for him as well. But I think his favorite target was Jordy, though.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't, it was James Jones. That's what really.
Yeah, that was his favorite red zone target.
No, he used to throw bombs to James Jones all the time. He was like, I had to watch them because my cousin's a Packer fan, so I Aaron was always like, if it wasn't, if you really want to say who his favorite target was, it really was Cobb because, that's his people's, but.
Yeah, so I figured they used the ball to, if they were looking for that. Jordy didn't have separation, but they were trying to get those outside passes. That was Jordy working the ball down the middle of the field. That was more like Randall Cobb. Red zone was James Jones. That's kind of where at least that's how I saw it when I was watching.
Yeah, it's. I'm just telling you, like offhand, like
yeah,
that's why he got those relationships with like. If anybody was really his favorite target, was Cobb, but it took a while for him. Basically, it took a while, and even Devontae Adams said, he said, nobody, if they didn't take the time on me, I would have never made it. I don't know who are you talking about, bro? You talking about Tez?
I think she's talking about Adams.
No, she had answered.
Oh, she's replying to. Did she reply to Don C?
I believe so, but even Devontae Adams said, he said that they didn't give it, and this was him on NFL Live, and they were talking about the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You got to give him time. He's like, they didn't give, if the Packers didn't give me time, there would be no Devontae Adams. He didn't blossom to his 4th season. This is Sean Bateman's 4th season. This may be the time. We just got to, look, we've never had really good receivers. I'm lying. By trade we had, but as far as drafting, we've never had really good receivers. She was talking about Devontae. Okay.
Yeah. And I think it's when it comes to, it's just we have to put up plays that concentrate specifically on those players that we want them to get those numbers in. Like, when I used to play amateur football, I already knew that there was a play set up for me, and it was for me to go across the middle. It was a slant. And I knew it was time to get to work as soon as they called my play. But this, there are other plays that hey, you're not as involved in. And then you'll see players either take time off or take plays off as those plays come around because they know that play is not set up for them. And, of course, sometimes it ain't set up for you. You're not the first or second, third option what you gonna do? You know, there's not much you can do because those plays aren't meant for you. Let's pay some bills and see what these guys saying. Brooks talking about Devontae. All right, cool. Jose says we don't need Adams. Why not let our wide receivers grow and become good wide receivers instead of having them as trophies on a depth chart? I'm with you. Like I said, I want to see what the connection between two people now, because we after we saw what our guy does after the catch, Wallace. It is nice to see him making those highlight plays to let these people know, hey, we're here. It's shocking me. It was definitely because initially I was just like, all right, well, what's Wallace going to do during this offseason? Well, I think it's like I said, he is now at the point to where he's, hey, I am showing y'all there's no need for me to compete anymore. I'm here. Give me the ball. Like, feed me, dang it. And I'm curious to see what he has to offer, and I'm curious to see what Aguilar has to offer because, like I said, Aguilar's putting the work in. And I think, of course, Zay's going to still do Zay type things. But the three guys that I really want to see show up is Bateman, of course. I want to see his full game come together. I want to see him take over a game and have one of those Cleveland-like type games that he had when he mossed Cleveland for almost 100. Was it over 100 yards that game? You remember it was, I think, Huntley and him hooked up against Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
And it was for close to 100, right?
I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a big game, right? And he should have had a tutty, but they called it. They said his knee was down or something. But
the game that Lamar got injured in.
Yeah.
So
he shows up.
Bold prediction right now. After this season is over, Tyler Wild's gonna get a contract with us. They're not gonna let him go. They're not gonna let him. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, wow. I think his contract will look along the lines of what Bateman's looks like this year.
That's his first contract. He's gonna outplay his contract, but he's slowly worked his way up. He said nothing. He's never complained. Do special teams fine. Do this, whatever. He's worked his way up.
Mm-hmm.
Guarantee it. I'm guaranteeing it because I don't know.
All right, Brooke says she said Tyler Bates got 3 games to impress. What you gonna do? You gonna pull up after that, Brooke? She is known for pulling up.
3 chances. Well, look, out the gate, we got 3 teams that have pretty strong defenses. You got Kansas City, you got the Raiders, you got Dallas. If he can show up in one of those games, because Diggs is going to be on him at Dallas, and then on top of that, I forgot the corner's name that's at the Raiders, but the Raiders defense is pretty solid. So even though we played them here at the crib, and then what Kansas City's all about. So we're gonna see.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm so excited because, like I said, Cameron and I are gonna be at that game, and we just don't know what to expect. Like Hollywood Brown, we don't know if he's actually going to be there for the game because of his injury. It's supposed to be a 4-week injury, which should put him at week 2 starting. But he was back at practice. He just didn't do anything at practice. He stayed on the side of the field today. But they also signed back Juju Smith-Schuster. And I'm like, is that a sign of Hollywood Brown's not going to be healthy for the game? Or is that a sign of Rashee Rice got his judgment from the NFL and is going to be suspended for a few games and they need to sign for that depth?
I think it got more to do with Rashee Rice, and then it got to do with the fact that who do they have after those 3 receivers? And neither is Kadarius Toney. Neither one of them. Hold on, I'll be right back.
You got
some more food, brother.
Yeah, get some more food, man. So, I mean, there's other players that they are thinking about releasing, and I can't remember what the other guy's name was. He got benched for the Super Bowl, and they clowned him in front of the reporters, said a lot of different things. Kadarius Toney. So you got Toney, who has a lot of speed. He needs to be able to put his full game together. And this is a guy who hopefully he knows something about the Chiefs offense, because if let's say he gets signed by us and we're looking to sign him to get information and he doesn't know anything, I'm pretty sure he'll be on the street the next day. But it's just kind of like, why did Kadarius Toney fall off the way he did? And we know attitude has a lot to do with it, but sometimes attitude and effort combined are usually what gets you to meet the streets or put you in the highlight reel. So we know about that. And we're saying, I'm surprised Kadarius is still on the roster. He's not probably going to be on the roster probably by tomorrow.
They moved him to running back.
They moved him to running back?
Mm.
Wow. Brooks saying we better not sign him.
Not anymore. Nope.
Yeah, so I mean, basically putting him at running back, it gives them a speed advantage, but how many reps you think this guy's going to get over Pacheco? I don't think he's going to get many.
He'd be the third down.
Yeah.
Give somebody, because they don't have anybody really behind Pacheco.
I thought they ain't got McKinnon anymore.
No, they don't have McKinney, and I don't know what happened to what's number 25 name. I thought they re-signed him, but I don't know what happened. I don't know if he got injured, but I didn't see him play all preseason.
Oh, Edwards-Helaire?
Mm-hmm. I didn't see him all preseason. So I don't know if he got injured, and then they got a rookie running back. He's more like a fullback, but.
Jose, you got a point. I think we definitely want to see that Minnesota Rashad Bateman. This dude was a dog. He was a really solid route runner. Like I said, I put together a tape of what he would look like if he was to take off, and it was something along the lines of Julio. He has the potential to be a Julio-esque type player. He just needs opportunities. If they put more concentration into incorporating plays specifically set up for him, then that is where Bateman is going to shine. If they sit here and say he's the second or third option, he's not going to get those reps because Lamar, once he locks in on his 1 and 2, which we know his 1 and 2 are, he is the third option right now, then that is not going to look good for him. All right. So let's go to another one. Actually, I see another comment. Let me see what that is. Why did we waive Emery? I just saw that. Well, I just think that they want to carry 2, and that obviously says that they have confidence enough in what Josh Johnson is doing that they don't necessarily need Leary or him. I just think that they're pondering a little bit more about, hey, should we keep Leary, or does this work out as far as the roster athletics or what is it, roster gymnastics that they're doing? Is it going to work out to where Leary is on the roster, or if he's going to be practice squad or what? I think they're going to sign Emery to the practice squad because I think he's shown enough to where, hey, we can pull this guy in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what'd she say? I don't trust Josh. Josh who?
Johnson, the quarterback.
Oh, Josh. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Josh Johnson?
I mean, I got to remember, you're too far in now. Like, you can bring in another quarterback, but it's going to take some time. You got to learn the playbook. They just throw him out there like he's a corner or playing running back on the edge. Like, QB got to learn a lot of stuff. That's the hardest part.
Larry needs to lead a U.S. Girl, you tripping. All right, let's see what Jose says. He says, nope. KC is done. Chargers will win the West. It's the new Harbaugh brotherly rivalry, like the Kelseys and how it was back in 2012. It brings a family feel. Who doesn't love Jack Harbaugh? I don't know how I feel about that. I think KC still got a lot to offer. I mean, their roster it looks pretty good. I think that they're getting more props than what they would normally. I guess they're getting more props about their roster strength than they should, because I don't see they just they lost one of their top corners, and that was like the biggest part of their defense was McDuffie, or excuse me, was McDuffie, and it's just kind of you see when you see that your top chess piece goes away.
Not McDuffie, Sneed.
Sneed, thank you. Yeah, it's just one of your biggest chess pieces goes away, and you're telling me that this is still one of the top rosters in the NFL. You can't put them as a top roster just because they signed a couple of burners. I mean, we've seen Worthy have some drops in college, and Hollywood is definitely, we roasted him so many times on this show for the drops. Even though it wasn't that many, it's just 3 in one game, 3 potential touchdowns in one game. But we know what Hollywood is. We know he's done some great things for Baltimore, and he did a few things for Arizona as well. And maybe his game gets taken to the next level in Kansas City, but we won't know if he's not there on the field on Thursday night next week because of that injury. I want to say it was a collarbone injury.
Shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder injury. So it was a 4-week type of injury. I guess Tyreek had the same thing. If Hollywood happens to show back up next week, then cool, we'll deal with it then. But I just don't know what that looks like for them. And that doesn't mean just because they sign Hollywood and they sign another burner that puts Kansas City over the top. This is the team that had a lot of drops last season. They still won a Super Bowl. They didn't like how they did it, but they went about it. But that signing these two burners doesn't mean that they're going to be 100% catch the ball. We saw that with Tony. Tony was a burner. All right. So then let's see. Y'all talking about Pacheco? What about Pacheco? All right. Jose says that's what happens when your team is a run first team. I'm not sure what you're talking about, man. All right, we'll move on to the next
What was that?
screen. I don't know. We'll move on to the next screenshot here. That was this one. Okay, so heads are starting to roll in Baltimore. So they just this is just talking about the previously cut players that we already know about. We can talk about what's up.
I thought they showed somebody else. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And let's see here. What about this one? So the Lions are releasing Donovan Peoples, the law firm. Oh man, Donovan Peoples Jones is being released. So when he was in Cleveland, this guy, they had a ton of injuries, and he is one player who stepped up, and you could see that he was more than just a backup type of guy. This is the guy. When I say climb the ladder, he was mossing people. Had no problem mossing people down the field. He looked impressive. I thought for sure that Cleveland was tripping when they got this guy out of Cleveland and sent him over to Detroit. And obviously they didn't know how to use him up there, but I think this is one of those ones where you kick the tires on him. You do. You kick the tires and see what's up. You bring him in for a workout or something. And
breaking news. Sorry.
What you got?
Go ahead, Brookie. Brooke. You're coming through with the news. Go ahead, Brooke.
According to Sports Illustrated, we have contacted Broncos about Patrick. What they say, baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong. She said, never mind. It's old. Okay. Killing us, Brooke. Killing us. All right. What Jose say? He said, Brunken could use Andrews and Likely like he did with Bowers and Washington. Yeah, I do think this combination of Andrews and Likely is going to be nice if we come out into a lot of I formation, or single back with double slots, double tight. Excuse me, I don't know where I'm at right now. Yeah, using some double tight. I think that's going to be a great formation to come out in. Or if we stack him both tight ends to the right hand side and running some heavy, running heavy with those two in there, and then you don't know if it's going to be play action or not. It's going to set things up. Having Ricard, having both of those tights sitting there with Derrick Henry in the backfield, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty. Let's see. Said Patty Cakes will take a break from winning like Brady did from 2004 to 2015. He went from 3 Super Bowls but lost. Or he went to 3 Super Bowls and lost, but he'll stay relevant, but will let other teams win. All right. Brooke says it was just posted, but the article old. All right. Hollywood still has that bum right foot. He does? I ain't heard nothing about the foot.
No, he ain't got no bum right foot.
I mean, he had screws removed from it with us, but he was still pretty good with that foot. I mean, it didn't matter. He had that foot.
He just joking.
Yeah. All right. So here we are. We are into next week, folks. There it is. I know you see it. So who is going to be the who's going to be the?
We didn't even go through our 53, brother.
What's up?
We didn't even go through our 53.
Oh, yeah, we do need to go. Let me go back to that. All right. So as far as my 53, like I said, I'm standing pat except for one change in my roster. And that was cutting Mullen and moving Washington over to corner where he belongs on that roster, on that depth chart. And Sanasu, Sanasu makes the roster. Sanasu Kane.
You think Sanat going to make the roster? You think we're going to carry 6 defensive linemen?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with Sanat.
We never do.
I'm going to cut Mullen. I'm going to move Kane. Kane sticks. Yeah, Kane's on the roster already. Never mind. So that actually leaves a spot open for Sanat. And how many linemen did we keep here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what was that? 10?
I don't think we're going to keep 10. Some people are saying we're going to keep 10. I think Coach said we're going to keep 10. But
Yeah, I think 10.
I'm not saying that because we don't know what we got, but I think we know what we got. I think they just wanted to see if Lele could play right guard, and not it.
So I think
yes. I'm sorry.
I think for like you could see him in pass coverage stonewall people. Like
his pass pro was good. It's decent.
Yeah, it's great. And I mean, I can't. I think he needs to get better in his ground game, like as far as like getting to that second level and sticking with guys. His problem was he couldn't stick.
Just that. Every time I looked around, he was on the ground. Like, how you on the ground?
That's crazy.
And whoever you blocking is still right. It's still going. And
there was one other change I wanted to make for my roster. So of course at running back with Owen Wright breaking his foot, I think Ali slides into that spot, but it's temporary because I do think Cook is going to get that phone call from Baltimore after this 53 roster is kind of made up tomorrow and get told, hey, we're bringing you in, man. You number 3 right now because Ali hasn't earned it. Let's just be honest. Ali has not earned that spot, but he's injured. And so might as well bring Cook in and see what he can offer currently.
Look, I mean, this is the thing. Owen did play better, but nobody really shined in the running game at all. To be quite honest with you, other than John Kelly, which is he showed vision.
I think Kelly might have been a little bit too little, too late. I don't know why they put him in that late and gave him that many reps.
Like everybody, like this is the problem. If you look at what they were averaging, all of them were averaging. Even Kolar was not Kolar. Kala, I believe his name is number 38. He was all of them were averaging 2.6 yards a carry. That's not gonna get it. That's not gonna get it at all. So it has something to do with the running back, but it also got something to do with the offensive line. So that's horrible. But Owen did show, as far as special teams with the kick return, he did show up, and he looked. That's why I said Hardy doesn't need to be there. But he wasn't the only one that did that. So before Ali got hurt, when they had Ali back there to kick return, he almost blew the doors down and took it to the house. Except when he hit the ground and the ball came out, but that was about it. So you can't. I can understand why they just hold him back because you can see the talent. He just hasn't had the opportunity. He's still learning the book. He hasn't had the opportunity to show anything because they had him in concussion protocol since that first preseason game. So I don't know if it's a concussion or I think it's more his neck because they said that they had it listed as a stinger. So was it more like a soft tissue type injury?
Wait, who are you talking about?
Ali, he's still in concussion protocol. That's why he hasn't played.
Oh.
That's why he's practiced, but he's practiced at a limit. They keeping him, in the concussion protocol. So if you give up on a draft pick because of that, you're gonna lose out. You don't know how really good he is. He didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of potential there. I'm not saying he's not that dude. It's just I'm not saying he can't be that dude. But right now, what we've seen 2.6 yards per carry. We've seen a lot of burst. I was excited for that first preseason game because you could see him just about to take off, and it was kind of like you're hoping that he actually was going to actually take off. It just didn't happen.
But what I'm saying is this: if you did, unfortunately, that's horrible what happened to Owen. I wish it didn't happen because he would have made the 53. But it wasn't like I wasn't wowed by any means by any of the running backs. Like last year, we was all wowed by Mitchell. You know what I mean? Nobody was even before that. If you want to go further back, all the running backs, the ones that wowed you, they were averaging at least. They had some big runs. Even Justice Hill when he wasn't getting any burn. And if you're the third running back on this team right now, you got to play special teams. Dalvin Cook ain't playing no special teams.
Yeah. Well, Brooke, I'll let you get that W today. I'll let you get it because I had it, and I was gonna hit it, but and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let her get this one. It's fine. I've been working a lot of cameras right now. I've been doing my thing, so I was like, what, she can have this one today. But I had it on my mind, and I had the button ready. But
we didn't get nothing talk. We didn't get nothing. Nothing done. For the 53, we didn't get nothing done. Who you think the start lineup gonna be for the?
We can go into start lineup. What do you think as far as your what start lineup you talking about? You talking about offensive line? What you talking about?
No, offensive line. I'm sticking to my guns. I don't think. I think McCary he's too valuable to be able to play all the positions to start. I wouldn't do it. I think Rosenberg can hold his own. I don't think Falele is the answer. Ben Cleveland gives you, I don't know, what he pissing somebody Cheerios? Excuse my language, because I don't understand why you won't let the man play guard. Like, I don't understand. He's the best guard, honestly, even over Voorhees right now. He's the best guard that we have. So I don't know. Let him play right guard. The second best guard right now is Andrew Voorhees. He's going to have his aches and pains. All of them going to have their aches and pains. But the main two that's going to have their aches and pains really are the ones that have no experience. Ben Cleveland has experience at right guard. If you want to keep the development for Lele, develop him. When Ben Cleveland is run blocking, he's getting to the second level. When Ben Cleveland is pass blocking, he's protecting Lamar. And even at center, he's stonewalling jokers. He's showing his versatility. Like that Philly game, ain't nobody. He had I know it's PFF, but he had 100 grade. I don't know, what was it, 100? His grade was like high. It was like 90s or 100. I don't know, it was super high. But the point is this: Falele is not it. He can't. He's not moving nobody. He's not. I know they saying that maybe Ben Cleveland's not aggressive enough in practice, but when it's game time, the man show up. So tell me how it's not working. Maybe
I think his his running protection. I think he opens up lanes. I think he is the exact opposite when it comes to that ground game for him versus Falele. Now, pass protection, I think Cleveland is better. But I think somebody brought up the question today: what is Makari? How many times are we going to overlook Makari and say he's the sixth man when he belongs somewhere in this lineup?
Well, he could be in that lineup, but this is the problem. Can he slide in and you missed me? Yo, this is the problem.
Oh, Lord.
This is the problem. If we do start him, this is the scary. If we do start him and we don't have anybody developed that can play every position, what are we doing? Like Pat McCarry, he's shown that he's a decent left tackle. He's shown he's a decent right tackle. Other than he's even shown that he's a decent center at sometimes. Other than all we remember is the Buffalo game, But if he can start at right tackle, but I still feel like as far as the right guard is concerned, Falele is not the answer. And if he starts, I'm gonna be highly upset. I'm serious. I'm like, we not trying to run the ball because we're a run first team. So what are we doing if he's in there?
Okay. Like I said, it's just Harbaugh. He knows the lineup.
Yeah.
He's got confidence in how this lineup looks. But I think for me, I think it goes. Of course, Stanley, Voorhees, of course, Lindy. In my mind, I would hope Cleveland, and then of course Rosengarten on the right hand side, because that just makes sense. We're talking about a guy who's had the experience on that right side, who did well when Zeitler was out. We're looking at a guy who actually does excel in pass and run protection. Why not put him there? Putting in Fayele until he gets those feet, he needs a foot coach. I'll be honest with you. He needs a footwork coach who is going to be able to get this guy to the second level, making impact blocks and sticking with him.
You don't have his bend for the run. He's too tall. He's 6'8". That's hard. I mean, we got to think about some difficulty. He's 6'8", trying to get bend on the run. It'd be different him getting the bend as a tackle opposed to guard, where everything happens a lot faster.
But Brooke, Zeitler won his money.
Yeah, he can hit Zeitler up for advice, but what that's going to do? Because Zeitler ain't even been practicing for Detroit. He's trying to get right. He don't even care. He get him up for advice. He probably gave him some advice, but he can't. Advice and they gonna get him right.
I don't. You have to have that. You have to have that mentoring there in person. The coaching has to be there, and then they got to be giving him the proper feedback about his current talent level. It's not there right now.
But another thing about run blocking, they may be saying they may be some people.
I didn't even know Adit was here.
Yeah, what up? Some of them are saying like, oh well, maybe he's not in practice. Now again, we're going back to practice. In practice, Cleveland is not showing enough aggression.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But if you look at the games, we're gonna go. We can go back 2 years. We talked about this before.
I mean, even last year, you could see the subs
in there. We run the ball behind him, and he clears the way.
Yeah.
That tells me enough right there. Okay, look, if you don't want him after this year, let him walk. But we got to stop switching up our line every time. We got to start paying somebody.
Yeah, I do agree. You got to stop letting these guys walk off and get these multi-million-dollar deals like with Denver, with Carolina, with the Jets. I mean, we're seeing our alignment with Detroit. They've been sliding off to different places, and he's been top-notch, lineman. Then, of course, we don't know exactly what it's going to look like now. Rest in peace, Joe, but we don't have an offensive line coach that was selected, to work with,
Well, no, we do have an offensive line coach. We got somebody that came in. It's a guy that actually knows Joe D, but he has experience. He has like 20 years, 40 years as an offensive line coach, and he worked with Todd Monken when he was at Texas. So we had somebody come in. We was lucky, blessed enough to get him because he was just chilling. But he has to, he got to give his thoughts, of course, but I don't know how much information he can, how much his opinion is going to count right now. He hasn't been there the whole training camp and so on and so forth. But
Kenny says trouble in offensive line paradise. This has been the entire offseason, brother.
I got trouble in offensive line paradise, sir. So
y'all got a quarterback yet? Because I don't know. Is it Russ? Is it Kenny?
Center?
I think it's gonna be Russ, but
keep it light. But no, the reason I'm saying what I'm saying is because if you wanna slowly work him in. But the way half of run blocking is about your attitude. If you want to push somebody, you gotta be aggressive, and you gotta want to do it. It's different than maybe Cleveland is reserved on because that's his teammate. I don't know. Maybe not super aggressive because that's his teammate in practice, or it's not like he's not smart enough to retain the office, everything, because you couldn't have played center if you couldn't do that. But I swear to you, they act like he pissed at somebody Cheerios, and Hobbs hates him. It seemed like Hobbs like, can't do nothing with this guy. Why can't you? Every time you ask him to come out there to play, you ask him to play left guard, he play left guard. You ask him to play right guard, he play right guard. You ask him to play right tackle, he play right tackle. Never complain, never nothing. He just want to play.
Well, I mean, he did do that fumble, so you know how it is. The second he calls a fumble in Harbaugh's house, there is that you're in the doghouse.
He just like, playing center.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He flipped the ball over old boy's head, so
And then what happened the next round? What happened the next play? He protected him. We got a touchdown. So come on, man.
It was like Harbs went into the press is still hot about the one mistake instead of focusing on the entire game as a whole. And you can't do that. You got to sit there and you got to shake some things off, and you can't sit here and constantly dog players out and not give them the reps that they deserve based on one play. Bernard Pierce is one of those. We still don't know where he at. We still trying to look for this cat. All right, so let's see. Read this comment here.
Y'all slide in, y'all slide through. You know what I mean? Anybody wants to. I'm promoting.
Check out the cup, man. That cup is fresh. It look better. You just throw a little Couch Rider Report symbol in the back of that.
That's what you wanted to do. You send me the stuff, and she'd draw it up and get it going.
That's what's up.
I'm not putting no Couch Rider on mine though.
Okay. All right. Deed says, are wide receivers, this will be the last question of the night, are wide receivers going to be making too much money to be a risk free signing? We could see wide receivers pushing $40 million a year, and QBs are already approaching 60 annually. I don't see Eric DeCosta ever, and I'm gonna just say, and I say ever. I mean, within the next 4 years, I don't see Eric DeCosta signing a wide receiver for $40 million. I just don't see it in that future for us, because he's trying to spread that money out amongst the rest of the team, unless this has got to be like the top caliber player. Unless the Justin Jefferson comes in the next 2 years to Baltimore, I don't see them shelling out the cash if we can build them through the draft and get them for super cheap. Your thoughts?
I agree, unless the money keeps going up. If it keeps going up, everybody needs to get paid, not just the receivers and the quarterback. The money should still be going up. I mean, the NFL is the #1 sport in the U.S. They just got how much more, and then it's going to go up some more.
Yeah, well, I can't remember what the cap is. Like, was it 265, something like that?
And the billions. They making hand over.
Oh yeah. This is a was it a $12 billion a year industry?
They making money. Like, but basketball and baseball players still getting paid more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these football players deserve to get paid, not just the quarterbacks, not just the receivers or the edge rushers.
Yeah, I mean, pay a lineman. Pay these linemen.
Pay whoever need to be paid, and pay them.
Yeah,
seriously, pay them, because this is the #1 sport. #1 sport in the U.S. It's about to be the #1 sport over the world. Because look, when you know what the crime rate is when the Super Bowl's on.
Oh, it's through the roof.
Huh?
It's through the roof when people win the Super Bowl.
No, the crime rate. During the Super Bowl? What's the crime rate?
Oh, it's probably lower. Yeah, I mean, afterwards, the after parties is where the real fights. But yeah, during the Super Bowl,
don't worry about the damn after parties. You need to go home.
It's just saying, like, after party get loud.
What's the crime rate? The crime rate is 1%, bro.
Yeah.
When the Super Bowl's on, that means even the crack.
They just holding all that rage in to watch those commercials, and then the second it's over.
Man, he all over the place again.
All right, man. Y'all, thanks for tuning in to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours, it's your couch rider Raven.
Hey,
man, Cam Rue.
Yes, if you want to get if you want to get your custom made NFL cup, holla at Couch will holla at me, or you DM me on IG. Brookie Brooke, I'm getting the handle for you now. I already told her. Once it's done, then I'll let you know when to Venmo me, and then I'll send it out to you, mail it off.
All right, we appreciate y'all. We falling off the couch for you continually. And just know that
leave. Are we here on next week? Is Labor Day? What we doing?
We will not be on because of Labor Day, and I got some family business to handle.
All right, so we see y'all after the game, after the first game of the season. Hold on.
Absolutely. Yeah, if we need to go on Thursday night, we can do Thursday night. I'll be off on Thursday night.
No, I'm in the game.
I was gonna be not Thursday night, Wednesday night. I can do Wednesday night.
We do all right, so we switching. We go the season when the season normally starts, we switch from Monday to Wednesday.
Okay, then we'll do Wednesday. We'll do next Wednesday night. I can be on.
Wednesday night.
All right, we'll make sure we see y'all on Wednesday.
Kick off before we kick the season all the way off.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that said, we thank y'all for coming through. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. And with 2 claps, we're gonna fade to black.
Salute.
Peace.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens. Couch Rider.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White rap for the beat, though.